of each passing year of uni. Almost like kind of a New Year's resolution style phenomenon, where it's like at the end of one year of uni, I would tell myself, okay, next year, I'm gonna get out more, I'm gonna do more things. And for a while you do, but it's kind of hard for me to maintain, I guess. In my final year at Warwick, it was actually a bit easier. Like, I kept up my new hobby of playing badminton with the Badminton Society there the whole year. Met a bunch of new people there. But unfortunately, I'm not actually in contact with any of them anymore right now. But that's because I was one of the few finalists in that club. Everyone else is just still kind of there. I'm doing other things now.
I think a key indicator as to how introverted or extroverted you can be is how you feel about introducing yourself to people. And it's something that sort of takes me back to when I met both of you. Like, Grant, I introduced myself to you. I remember it was in French class. But to be fair, I was kind of told to by Miss Hartley, who basically told, me and my friends that we weren't integrating with the rest of the class enough, so I came and sat next to you. But Khan, you introduced yourself to me because we lived so close together, and you thought it made sense for us to walk to school. And that was kind of an indicator as to, how much more confident you are, I suppose, at meeting new people than me.
To be honest, I think, for me, going into that new school was, it was another one of those things where, privately, I think it was quite scary, like a scary prospect. But you go in and then, I don't know, I think I've always, whenever I'm presented with, a new sort of situation, I'm always kind of I'm louder than I probably actually am, if that makes sense. I'm kind of, I'll make a really, big effort to put myself out there. Yeah. Which, to be fair, is really good for me now, because I think that sort of ability really helps my job. But,
it's true.
Yeah, so when I went to Greenshaw, it was a big moment to try and kind of remake myself, I think. So I just wanted to be, friendly.
I think,
it didn't last, but.
No, I think you did all right. In terms of the pandemic, which is the main reason I wanted to bring this up, because I feel like, in a way, the pandemic sort of made introversion, extroversion a little bit moot. Khan, do you feel like, because you spent so much more time inside, to be clear, there's no wrong answer to this, say however you feel, but do you kind of feel like, having spent so much more time inside and not being able to socialise with people, that you kind of appreciate time to yourself a bit more?
No, I hated it. I straight away, I hated it. I think that's one of the things that's kind of not really been spoken about much about the pandemic, is that it's been really tough for people like me who really thrive on that social contact. It's really difficult, but not in a sense of, oh my God, I will die if I don't speak to another person. It's more in a sense of, you just don't have any outlet really for your energy, which was really, really tough. And it still is, to be fair, because I'm still sat indoors 24/7, but I think at least I've got a job. But even for me, just having that same monotonous thing to do every day and not being able to go outside and change it up was really tough. And I don't appreciate time to myself anymore now, because I'm more just kind of sat there just waiting to go and do something. I think that kind of went into, obviously in our friendship group, a lot of the things we ended up doing together. I organized a lot of it just because I wanted something to do. I wanted to have something and then put it out to everyone, and then I didn't really care about the fact that I wasn't involved in it. It was more just me being look, I really want us to have something to do together, because it's the best alternative to having no social contact.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. But to be fair, as soon as I said oh yeah, do you appreciate time alone, I was like, he's gonna say no, absolutely not. But I feel on the flip side, people who identify as being more introverted kind of do miss social contact a bit more. Like, Grant, how do you feel about seeing people and meeting up with people now? Do you miss it and appreciate it a bit more than you did before?
I do. I do miss it. And I'm aware that, like, if you remember, like, the early days of the pandemic when, like, the lockdowns had only just started and everyone was saying it was almost like a meme that, like, pandemic's happening, now the introverts are king. Like, the introverts are fine. The introverts are going to be ones that deal with this the best. And I completely disagree with that. Like, wholeheartedly. I've always considered myself to be someone who's quite comfortable with my own company and just, like, doing my own thing. But at the same time, it is always nice to, like, have the option to go out and socialize and see people. Like, it's always nice to be able to do that, even if, like, that's not something which I'd want to do all the time. And the pandemic obviously, like, took away even the option. And yeah, I know we socialize over video calls now. We play games, etc. And Carl did a really good job of organizing stuff for us. But it's not the same, is it? Like, we'd all agree that it's not the same.
We're doing the best of what we can, but it is difficult. I mean, the one plus of it is, I think, geography doesn't matter, obviously, which is good, because it means that people like James, who live further away, can still join in and stuff, and I think that's great. But yeah, it's not the same as face-to-face contact, and it never can be. However, like, do you think that... Because one thing I've noticed is when any of us would be away at uni or we'd be at home, we didn't really talk to, like, our other friends. As in, so when I was at uni, I didn't really talk to you guys. You know, we'd occasionally message or whatever, but it wasn't like a regular contact. And when I was at home, I didn't really message my uni friends. I was just talking to you guys, meeting up with you guys, because that was something we could do face to face. Do you feel like there's more of a mesh now because geography doesn't matter? Like, especially last year when I was still a student, I think I was talking to you guys and my uni friends on a regular basis. So it felt like my two worlds kind of flowed together. So, yeah, I was wondering what your thoughts were on that.
I think the pandemic has kind of just showed people who their real true friends are. And the context in which I'm saying this is, and I can say this because I know for a fact none of them are listening, people that I met at uni, they don't really check up on me, on, like, how I'm doing in the pandemic, and, like, whether I'm, like, staying healthy, just asking how things are going. And everyone in what I guess I call my home friendship group, we're always, like, we're really active right now relative to how we have been in the past. Like, we're really active. Yeah. We're all talking to each other. We've recently started just playing games regularly every Friday. And yeah, you don't really, I haven't really had that with people from my uni since the pandemic's been going on just throughout the whole of last year, really. It is a shame, but it's life.
That sucks. I'm so sorry. What about you, Khan? Have you, like, maintained regular contact with your uni friends simultaneously with us?
Yeah, I think to be fair, with my uni friends, they're a really good bunch, and we do a lot of stuff together. And my really close friends, we always chat, like we would do before the pandemic. We would just chat over, like, summer breaks and stuff like that. But no, I think now a lot of people are more aware of the fact that other people are having a tough time. I think that makes sense. I think we are, as a society, we're kind of more aware of the fact that, you know, other people are having a really rough go of it. So I think there's more of a conscious effort just from most people to, check in as much as you can. And I agree with what Grant said. I think that in a way, a lot of this pandemic has shown that, you know, people who will check in on you and will like message you and just see how you are, just have a little catch up, or just have a little random chat about anything whatsoever. It just shows that they're kind of more, better friends, I think, than others who have just disappeared, and then when you see them, they'll pop up and go, "Oh, how have you been?" and stuff like. It's more. I feel like it's a lot more real now. You can really tell.
I like the way you phrased that. I think you put it better than I did. But yeah.
I mean, I do completely agree, and I think that while it can sort of mean that some friendships sort of disintegrate, which is sad, it can almost make the ones that do stick around be even stronger and be even closer, which I think is amazing. Because I think because people know that it's a difficult time, like you said, Khan, they're making more of a conscious effort to try and speak to each other more often, especially of video calls. Because I feel like people before the pandemic weren't that keen on video calls in general. Like, you know, they think of like FaceTime as a novelty or whatever, but in reality, it's just a bit annoying. But now we've kind of had to adjust. You know, we want to see each other's faces. We want to spend time together. So we make that effort to do those calls. And I think that when things are a bit more normal, because some of our group live away anyway, I think we'll keep doing stuff on the semi-regular because we're kind of used to it now anyway. That's my take.
To be fair though, to be fair to anybody who is listening, I do have a lot more experience with video calls than other people because obviously I have done long distance for 4 years now. So yeah, that has, it's not made it any easier because obviously, you know, all throughout uni I've gone, oh well, we only have these 3 years and then we'll be back together, and then no, COVID said no. But
really terrible timing.
It was awful, but
no, that is.
Yeah, I mean we're all right. We're fine.
No, you're right. I totally forgot about the whole long distance thing because that's probably that prior to COVID, I think that was the main purpose of video calls to keep in touch with your significant other when you're not spending time with them. I think I feel so bad for you guys. Like, that's honestly terrible timing.
Yeah, but at the same point, it kind of the same thing that you said about your friends, like, you know, with relationships with your friends that have maintained through this. Like, I mean, it's been 4 really like tough years, but you know, you guys are strong. So exactly. So you can't really complain too much about it because it just is what it is. Really, can't change it.
Okay, final question about this kind of thing. What has been your favourite activity we've done throughout lockdown or over Zoom, or even like an online game?
Do you want to go first?
The silence is deafening.
I actually don't want to go first because there's a couple that I want to...
Okay.
Yeah. It's a tough question. I think that I really enjoy the Zoom quizzes that we do just because everyone gets so into them. There's no one who's sitting there going, I don't care if I win. Like, people want to win. Like, there's a nice little competitive edge there. Yeah. But also, to be fair, like, I mean, I'm not being mean here, but we didn't invite Rose. But we would play a lot of like Xbox games and stuff together. And that was
right.
Especially
at the
start of
that's the exact one I was going to give a shout to. I wasn't sure if I should have because, like I said, we didn't invite Rose to it.
Stuff you don't do with me, it's fine.
Yeah, no,
that's fine. We don't invite Rose to a lot of things. She just doesn't know about them.
I really enjoyed the quizzes as well, and I love the effort that we all put into not just like partaking in them but making them as well. Like the amount of effort which has gone into every single quiz that we've done together.
Shout out to Ryan Khan, who's done.
I was going to say big shout out to Holly Exact for the incredible production value.
So Holly had made like one with amazing graphics.
As opposed to Rose's with 3 whole pixels in it.
Fuck off. Mine was interactive. Okay, so was Holly's. Okay, I lose. I accept my fate. But I think... Have you made the most quizzes, Khan?
Yeah, probably. But I had an experience doing it because I had to write pub quizzes at uni because I was social sec.
The thing I love about the quizzes is whenever we used to do like the old school pub quiz style ones, rather than where it was themed, whenever we'd have a geography round, I just love how ridiculously competitive it would be between Dan and myself.